Sark seems like a really good dude. Yeah, we better not put that at the cold open or I'm going to get in so much trouble.
What's going on, everyone? This is the Aggie Game Day Extra Podcast. I'm KBTX Senior Texas A&M sportswriter Travis Brown. Alongside, we haven't seen you in a little bit, buddy. Max Crawford, Chief Meteorologist. You were following Bertha last week.
Part of that's my fault, but yeah, for last week, I'll just blame Bertha.
Just blame Bertha.
Didn't live up to her name.
No.
'Cause you think like Big Bertha. She's on the way.
Have you ever swung a Callaway Big Bertha the driver? That's all I could think about the entire time.
No, the only driver that I have ever swung besides like at Top Golf, like the ones that they have, is the one that you've seen me swing, and that's not.
Which last time we went out and golfed, like 320 yards
was just
down the middle.
Was just swinging that thing
on one hole.
Right? Yeah, one time. Hey, I did it one time. I got a couple of true pars. I was real close to a true birdie. Mm-hmm. I mean.
It's a good time.
I feel like every time we golf, it's like the best golf that I've ever done. Which again, the bar is very low.
You tweeted it. I said, like, Max, it looks like you're actually playing golf.
Yeah, you said you're playing golf today. I'm like, yeah, for the first time ever.
Tyler Shaw, we've also golfed. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a while.
It has been a while. Actually, I think the last time we golfed was the day your child was born.
Well, not the day, but
no, it was like the morning and then that evening. Because it was the day before,
day?
It was the day, I remember this clearly, we golfed, and then your wife went into labor that night.
Yeah, because I worked that day, and we golfed in the morning.
And I had the day off because we were going to Notre Dame.
It was Thursday. You're right.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was the last time I golfed.
Well,
that's a pretty good
clearly
day.
you need to golf more because good things happen when you golf.
Yeah, that's a pretty good day
we need to go swing some sticks.
I forgot about that. Yeah, what a day.
What a day. I was talking to Alex Egan, our good buddy over there in the newsroom, brought up we were talking about the jersey patches. That's been the new thing where teams can make money off putting companies' jersey patches. Ohio State announced, I think it was JP Morgan Chase, Notre Dame, which surprised me. SoFi. Yeah. Notre Dame I thought would be the last. I thought they would be the last holdout not to.
Yeah, and instead they're one of the first.
They're one. Yeah. Do we think A&M will ever get into the jersey patch game?
I think eventually, yes. The way how much of a business and where eventually there's just going to be more and more extra revenue that you're going to have to come up with. And I think a jersey patch is kind of an easy segue into that. Now, I don't think it's going to turn into soccer jerseys where your whole thing is just.
So Notre Dame is going to get $18 to $20 million per year.
Yeah, and I heard it's similar for Ohio State and JP Morgan.
Right. And the Big 12 that is going to get them about $1 million.
Which
is kind of funny.
Yeah,
that's kind of funny. I could see A&M trying to go the more traditional route and instead sponsoring other things like the 25-yard
they don't even have the field sponsor yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, which a lot of schools already have done.
I could see A&M doing that first, or they could say, no, we're going to keep Kyle Field, and we're going to keep all that, and then they go jersey patch with it.
It's not already unprecedented because when Scott Woodward was here, they named it the Ford Hall of Champions. They had that big Ford logo on, and that kind of brought some consternation amongst the fan base.
I think these days, I would be very surprised if Kyle Field becomes something extra. Like, would they make it Shiner Field or Kyle Field at Shiner Stadium or something like that?
I don't think they would. Yeah, I don't think they would touch the naming.
I don't think so either.
And I think I would almost venture to guess that they might put patches on the jerseys before they put sponsors on the field.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting too. Like, I think it's a little bit. I think
Kyle Field is more sacred than the jersey at A&M.
I would hope that they would wait for the right sponsorship.
So who would that be?
Why not
Buc-ee's?
Shiner? Yeah, or Buc-ee's.
See,
beaver on
here's the thing about and we're going to talk a little bit more about Buc-ee's later. It is an Aggie-owned organization,
but Arch isn't an athletics guy.
No, and it couldn't. You couldn't put. I don't think you want the beaver head on the jersey. It'd have to be like a word mark.
How much?
Would you? Okay, you were
I could be
A&M
bought.
fan. You were A&M fan.
25
Do you
mil, I'll
want-
put a
do you
beaver.
want-
Yeah,
Okay.
I do not care.
Okay.
I do not like. I think Tyler brought up a point. Like, you don't necessarily want it looking like the soccer jerseys,
Yeah.
but people would get used to it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's.
See, I think if it's Buc-ee's, you has to have the word Buc-ee's, not
yeah,
the
I'm
beaver
fine with
head.
that.
But
Either way, I don't care.
Okay.
It's changed, so there'd be pushback at first, but you're right. People get used to it. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's a patch. It's just kind of
Right. It's like,
I guess you
whatever.
could do the beaver head if they went with like a maroon monochrome, like make it not the yellow red.
Yeah. I mean, I look at the Adidas logo on that jersey all the time. Why would Buc-ee's be that much different? Like, Buc-ee's I at least have an attachment to.
Yeah.
And I know that they're paying us, so
That's
I don't know.
fair. I mean, there
Yeah.
technically are logos on the already because
Yeah.
Adidas is the apparel sponsor.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
not like it's A&M solely branded logos.
I'm
or,
kind of surprised
uniforms.
I'm kind of surprised it's taken as this long. So yeah, I think it's only a matter of time. I could not even prognosticate on which big company that would be, but I don't know. Like, would it be Chevron?
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of
You know,
an oil
or-
company.
Yeah. Exxon.
Right.
I
don't know.
it's and a lot of
Probably
times
not
it's
Phillips
hard.
66. I
you
think
know,
you'd see that on like OU or something.
Texas's field sponsor is Hunan or something like sometimes it's these companies that you've never heard of
Right.
before but they just have the money. Some
Cotton Holdings sponsors Lone Star Showdown.
hey, if I mean
Terrafab?
SpaceX
Yeah,
could
that's
be
true. They
a
may get in the
a
good.
big
Very well
player.
be. Could, and honestly, the SpaceX logo is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So like that would
What about
not
just
shock
the
me.
X logo?
Yeah.
Just
Well,
talking that.
maybe.
Did they?
I'd still call it Twitter.
I'm trying to think now. I'm thinking back to the last two Lone Star Showdowns. I mean, because the Cotton Holdings logo is everywhere. But it hasn't made it onto jerseys quite yet.
No. I don't
No,
So,
because they don't
'cause-
put like a Lone Star Showdown
Right.
patch on the jerseys for the
No.
game, do they? No.
No.
Do they? Is there like a helmet sticker? Maybe.
I'm trying to. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
can't-
remember.
I mean, that's a whole nother
It's on the T-shirts.
tapped, untapped, like helmet sticker. You know,
Yeah.
I haven't seen really
maybe
any
so,
teams.
Travis. Maybe so.
Interesting. Well, that's something to keep an eye on. We had a podcast late last week breaking down all of media days, Tyler and I, and that didn't get posted till Friday. So not a whole lot's going on. We're gonna go into skip the headlines to get into kind of the two biggest things from last week. If I can find the right buttons to push here. Oh, yes, it's the conversation. Let's start with, I have these in a different order, but let's go ahead and start with the men's basketball schedule, because that was released yesterday, the conference schedule for A&M men's basketball. And I think the biggest talking point with that is the fact that the season ends with Texas. They kind of are doing a rivalry week thing at the end of the year. Do you like waiting all the way to the last game of the season for Texas, Max?
Sure. I think that's fine. I'm actually, that was kind of one of those things that I looked at and I went, yeah, why weren't we doing that anyway already? And in Austin, I believe that says like mid-February. That's a little bit crazy to me that like we will be through the bulk of our conference
Both
schedule.
matchups are in the back.
Yeah.
That part's a little bit weird, but overall, I'm fine with it. I do love that kind of drums up like going into March. There's a lot of weight to it and excitement to it, and I don't know. When was the first time we played them last year? Was in January,
Yeah, it was
and that's
pretty
kind
early on.
of weird too, right? So like I
Teams-
think it makes more sense to do it in February.
Teams
March.
in the transfer portal era seem to kind of build into the season a lot of times.
Yeah.
Oh,
and if
yeah.
you're going to have your harder games, it certainly helps. I mean, kind of last season, A&M men's basketball's team's back half was a little bit backloaded, and I think you could say they were definitely a much different team at the end of the season than the beginning when they were still trying to figure out what to do with Mackenzie McBockbo out injured.
I think this is a fun way to end you. I mean, you're looking
Absolutely.
at the last week and a half at LSU, then at Kentucky, then you're hosting your biggest rival,
And
Texas.
Alabama ahead of that,
Alabama
too.
ahead of that, Vanderbilt as
you
well.
could even
That's
go
a-
farther than that. Vanderbilt. You're
Yeah.
hosting Vanderbilt. You're
that-
at Texas before that.
That's
You
a
have-
great
you're-
way to end the
Yeah.
season. And yeah, I think that last Saturday should be fun because you're also going to have Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Alabama, Auburn. all these in-state matchups across the league all happening on the same day.
Yeah, absolutely, and that could be a make or break stretch there in February. Like
absolutely.
that's a very hardy slate of
hit
teams.
Mid-February on.
Like, what's the worst team there? Maybe Mississippi State, and they're not a slouch, and you've got to go to Mississippi State.
Yeah,
so.
and it's going to be so hard to know.
Right, that too.
Let's go with this, because we'll get into predictions and all kinds of things later on. As we now know the full A&M men's basketball schedule, we have an idea of the roster. Do we feel like this is a step forward season, a hold steady season, or a step back when it just comes to SEC play? So we're talking the tied for fourth, sixth seed season. Or is this a step forward, a push, or a step backward?
Obviously, just initial thoughts, because it's kind of hard to tell.
Right.
Everyone has different rosters. I would venture to say a hold steady. Mm-hmm. I think they're kind of right. It's going to be a tough schedule.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be tough just to get to that point.
Yeah.
I think where I'm sitting is it's hold steady, health notwithstanding. I think if we are able to remedy the fatigue problems that we had last season, I think I would flip from more like hold steady to like a good step forward. But I'm almost leaning the other way because of that difficult stretch and knowing what did happen to us in that same time frame last year. But if we can get a good rotation and dudes can stay healthy, then I feel pretty good. But just sitting here in not even September, yeah. But I will also say, like, we don't know.
Yeah,
we do not know.
I'll go ahead and venture it because of like some of the things you said, and to play radio a little bit. I'll say step backward, but like we're not talking a backslide. Like so 6 seed, maybe 8 seed heading into the conference tournament. Maybe a different loss here or there, but I still think they make the tournament, and they might actually. I could see them actually doing better in the SEC tournament this year because they had a run at it last year, kind of figured some stuff out. Can go so maybe as far as conference play goes, like heading into the conference tournament, I step backward, but like maybe the difference between 6 and 8 or something like that.
Sure.
I don't know if because of that stretch they did have to replace a decent amount. They do have some better players. I don't know if I'm seeing them jumping up into the third, second, first range, but anything's possible. So I'll just go ahead and say baby step backwards, and then maybe a little bit more progression in postseason play.
Over 40 years ago, my parents started C&J Barbecue, and today we continue to honor Dad's legacy with the best barbecue in the Brazos Valley. With locations on Harvey Road, Southwest Parkway, and our newest location on William J. Bryan, we carry on our family tradition of serving up award-winning barbecue, sides, and desserts. We also offer delivery, catering, as well as custom menus and private chef services. Come visit us today for some of the best barbecue around. C&J Barbecue. The C is for Chip, the J is for Joe, and the barbecue is for you.
But let's get into the kind of main event here, and that is the SEC preseason media poll. We talked about we kind of thought A&M was going to be somewhere in like I have to go back and review the film from a couple weeks ago. I think we were saying like the 6 to 9 range.
I think the lowest
I had him at 6 or 7.
I was going to say I think the lowest any of us had was like 7 or 8.
7 or 8. Okay, 6 to 8 range. Right there at 4. Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. I feel a little vindicated for that Ole Miss from my Dave Campbell's prediction that I said they were going to win. There was 8 other people who said they would take first place, but Georgia and Texas take the bulk of the first place votes. A&M with 5 first place votes, sitting right there at number 4 ahead of, I think what we all agreed could be the biggest mover, LSU. What do we think? I'm a little I'm a little surprised at the love that this A&M team has got.
Well, first off, there's always been one media member that had to have been just some joke, some bit, which is why you got to take these polls with a grain of salt.
Is that the guy that got thrown out or whatever?
Yeah, no, I don't think it was him. But every year there would be one vote for Vanderbilt to win the conference. And this was before Diego Pavia, before Clark Lee. I mean, this was, the Vandy of old. So it was obvious. And that same person must still be voting, but now they must have changed their bit to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Because you see the one vote for Kentucky. So that's why at first you have to take all this with a kind of a grain of salt. But with as many people that vote, hopefully it kind of averages out to what kind of the consensus thinks. Yeah, I was surprised, but I think it's justifiable.
Yeah,
putting A&M at 4 because I do think Alabama's I am surprised that the media didn't give Alabama more love, but at the same time, I don't really see Alabama being the same Alabama that they've always been. Now, Oklahoma surprises me. I would have thought I could see Oklahoma being a top 4 team.
Yep.
That's kind of what I was thinking, is that media members would have Oklahoma and LSU and maybe even Alabama above A&M, but I still feel like that's – I was very curious to see where they would put Ole Miss and LSU most specifically. I didn't know if people were buying the Lane Kiffin Gatorade or not, but it seems like it's a little bit all over the place with that. And so I wasn't super surprised to see LSU below us, but I thought we would be like right next to each other.
I think you can also look at this. I mean, a lot of it correlates with playoff success last year, but a lot of it too correlates with if you're going to power rank the quarterbacks in the conference and the teams that they play for, it might fall along similar lines, but with, like we said, with Oklahoma probably up there in the mix and John Mateer, because you got Gunnar Stockton returning at Georgia and Arch Manning at Texas. That's probably for sure in your top tier elite, along with Trinidad Chambliss. He's a little bit more. I think him and Marcel Reed might be the 1B tier because they did a lot. They were able to get their teams to the playoff. Chambliss kind of came on late and was that big factor in the push in the playoffs for Ole Miss. Mateer has a lot, and probably understandably so, would probably come in at 5 just because he has so much upside, but he was hurt for so long last year that there wasn't necessarily this great look at him. I think a lot of this does kind of follow quarterback play.
I will say, if OU has any semblance of an offense this year, I don't think see how they can not be a top 4 team in the league. I do think they're going to be pretty good.
I think of the top 8 that you're looking at there, the teams with the most variability are probably the 2 bottom ones in Oklahoma and Tennessee, because I could see both of them. And remember, we'll go back and look at the tapes and see how low I was on OU last year, and we see how that turned out for me.
I'll real quick, I'll reset for the people who are just listening. It's starting at number 1, Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, LSU, Alabama, Oklahoma, Tennessee. That's 1 through 8. 9 through 16, Florida, Florida, Missouri, South Carolina, Auburn, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Arkansas.
Yeah, so there you have that. And again, right in the middle, I would even start at A&M, but I think you could even start at Ole Miss to about Missouri. Like, it could shake out anyway. And maybe Sellers has a Heisman-worthy season at South Carolina, and they just end up like having a top 5 SEC season also. And
a lot of new coaches that can spark something.
And you could argue that with Ole Miss too. But I think OU and Tennessee is the one where I could see both of those teams finishing 2 or 3, or I could very easily see them finishing bottom half if something just doesn't go right. I remember the transfer portal talk, especially in regards to OU, saying like, dude, did they pick up anybody? But they maintain so much of that defensive core. So their defense is going to be good, so they'll be in every game. Like, their defense is stifling. As good as our defense was last year, it's crazy that theirs seem to be even better, especially in creating turnovers. But if you don't have the gas on offense, I mean, like, Isaiah Satania will be, I think, fantastic along with Mateer, but if you can't score points, I could see OU having a bad season, and maybe you're all of a sudden talking about Venables. And Tennessee, kind of conversely, except the opposite problem, right? You know that they're going to have a high-powered offense, but there's defensive questions. Maybe Heupel is a little bit on the hot seat as well. Or they both end up with 9 to 11 win seasons, and they're both in the playoffs. Like, I could see either direction.
And the other way you can kind of divide this, if you look at it 1 through 8, 9 through 16, save for Ole Miss, because let's consider Lane Kiffin a returning SEC coach. You got the teams with the returning coaches and the teams with new coaches, save for Missouri, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt over here. And those
coaches, well, not Vanderbilt, but like those are coaches on hot seats too.
Right.
Like Shane Beamer's on a hot seat.
Drinkwitz just did get an extension, but it's not. I don't think that the standard they're looking for something different at Missouri than maybe a lot of the other SEC schools are.
Like, despite the extension, like if they go 5-7 or 6-6 this year, I don't think he's still going to be there.
He has made them a contender.
Yeah.
More so than just about any coach that's been there since the late aughts.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Pinkel.
Yeah. So I don't have now. Poor Arkansas down there is still. Well, I guess we forgot, and this is telling of that Jeff Lebby at Mississippi State,
coach, right?
Yeah.
But also at the hot seat, number
that's the
15.
I mean, there's two guys there. Yeah, Beamer and Lebby. For the returning coaches there in the bottom half.
And this is, I think, we'll maybe revisit this like 4 or 5 years from now, but Mississippi State, I feel like, is just one of the biggest losers in the NIL era when it comes to football, because I think they have the resources, especially in baseball and maybe a couple other sports, to be competitive in that NIL market. But man, it just seems like they get raided every single season now. Like if you just have this good Mississippi State player. I mean, Mario Craver, perfect example.
Craver.
But I was actually
quarterback then too. Was
really
good.
I was pretty surprised that Camario Taylor is still on that roster, and obviously it seems like they made a priority in terms of resources for him to stay. But I was pretty shocked to see that he stayed there and didn't like shop around a little bit. Which is awesome. But, it seems like you get a good player at Mississippi State and you just kind of expect them not to be there next year because they get raided by other SEC teams. So that's very unfortunate. I don't think Lebby maybe knew that he was walking into that type of situation when he took that head coaching job, but I think that is maybe the hardest place to coach in the SEC right now is Mississippi State in football anyway.
More so than Kentucky.
I think probably. But yeah, those are probably the bottom two, right? Like I think even in terms
even more than Vanderbilt.
Yeah, because Vanderbilt.
I think because of what Clark Lee.
Yeah, he's holding that up, and it seems like there is at least a little bit of NIL commitment there with what they were able to do with their top guys.
They added volleyball back.
Expansion of the stadium, like. I think they're on the right track and ready to be at least somewhat competitive. I think even Arkansas, despite the way that they have handled the football program and very clearly said we're going to take care of baseball and basketball first because they're obviously at a higher standard than our football program is right now. But I think even Arkansas is set up better in this era than Mississippi State is, and probably Kentucky is as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to hate Mississippi State. I still do, but now I almost feel sorry for them a little bit when it comes to football because it just seems like they don't have a whole lot.
Well, it's not fun to hate someone if it's not an even playing field.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting with
If you feel like
right.
you're like they're just at such a disadvantage, it's like
it's like the way I feel about Baylor.
They're just too much of a little brother.
Right.
It's just,
you're just like, oh, man, come on.
Do something.
That's why I love to hate Tech again, because now all of a sudden they're like, hey, you know what? We're going to punch back.
Now it's a little easier.
We're going to, we have been relevant since the, we were talking about the late 2000s, but we're on the way back now, and that just ticks me off like nothing else. But,
So we got to talk, kind of break down our thoughts on media days. I don't know how much you were able to ingest.
Yeah.
What stood out to you about some of the conversations from anybody last week?
I honestly, there did seem to be a good bit of like unison with the coaches. It kind of seemed like there wasn't a whole lot of infighting when it came to just the general state of college sports right now. And it seemed like everybody was playing nice for the most part. Case in point, Lane Kiffin's presser.
Yeah.
Like where he just kind of went off about how much he respects Elko, how much he likes Elko. And Lane Kiffin is one of those dudes where if I allow myself to sit there and listen to him during a presser or something, it's like snake oil. I'm like, oh man, I think I might kind of like Lane Kiffin, and I have to like slap myself for a second. I'm like, no, but like he had a lot of very good things to say, and I think Sark is kind of the same way too. In that like Sark seems like a really good dude, and obviously is a very, very good coach too.
We're rolling, right? We can
Yeah,
record
right.
that, right? Yeah.
Clip that one.
No, we're not-
Sark is a really good.
Yeah, we better not put that at the cold open, or I'm going
That
to get
is-
in so much
That is
trouble.
absolutely going to be the cold open.
But it was a very long opening statement by Elko. And all in all, I feel like it was an SEC Media Days that, there wasn't a whole lot of chippiness to it. It was a lot of people like, hey, we're a little nervous about the state of the sport right now, but we're all still very excited to, put the pads back on and actually play a little football. There's a quiet confidence with Elko, and I love how that dude will spend 15 minutes on an opening statement, but will say relevant things. And this is not really something that I feel like was expected of A&M head coaches in the past in the football program, but to shout out the other programs and the leadership at the school and stuff like that, really embracing the role of that head coach of the football program, but also how it's, because it's so visible, it's kind of, you're the head coach of the university in a way. And I think Elko has really embraced that, has really embraced the athletic program kind of like being unified and shouting out the quote unquote smaller programs and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool.
Much to your delight and kind of to my surprise, I don't know, other than the first day with Sankey, for the first time in 3 or 4 years, I kind of felt like most of the conversations and the questions were football.
Yeah,
related.
it was we were talking ball, right?
It seemed like that because everything is kind of at such a standstill. Of course, Sankey kind of had the big bombshell of saying that, well, there has been talks about breakaway, even if those aren't necessarily fully realistic at this time.
He ripped the Band-Aid off.
But other than that, it was a lot of talking ball, and not a whole lot of existential administrative talk like it has been for the last few years. I don't know. That's something I kind of thought about over the weekend a little bit.
I just think there's been so much change so fast that there kind of naturally has been these talking points every media days. And it's almost like those were addressed at this media days, but quickly then, all right, let's talk ball. Nothing has changed yet.
Also, what was up with that Nil guy?
No.
Who was that?
I still haven't figured it out. It was in the main room.
And did he wear an A&M shirt at Sark's presser?
I wasn't paying attention. I didn't find him. So there's
That's
a
maybe
guy.
one of the more bizarre questions I've heard asked.
Well, there was a guy in the main media room, and I don't know who he worked for, an older gentleman who was wearing a Texas shirt and raised his hand and asked Elko a question, but apologized at the beginning because he thought he was going to wear, I guess he was wearing an A&M shirt on A&M Day, which again
is also weird.
Yeah.
Also weird. Pulling, inside baseball, you don't wear team gear to media days.
No,
that's not
like
professional.
even if you are, like a state-sponsored organization.
I mean, even like the SIDs and stuff for the teams, they might have like a lapel pin, but they're wearing suits and they're not
even the
wearing
Texags guys.
Yeah. So
you're not going to wear A&M stuff.
No, so he showed up there and apologized, but then he was asking a question about NIL compensation. And it was he kept calling it nil. And Elko had a great response because I thought we were maybe talking about soccer at first. I don't.
Yeah. Where did you get this guy?
And he asked it was a very basic question of how does NIL work, and do y'all get the same NIL as other sports on the campus? And Elko, you could tell it kind of short circuited him a second because he's like, I don't know how to answer
and
this.
I guess I'll give him credit for doing his research about Derek Miller being the GM, but other than that, it just seems so weird and out of place. Like, I had secondhand embarrassment while he was talking on the microphone. I was like, please just stop talking and just let him just move on to the next one. It was so weird. The other thing that I feel like we have to mention, and Tyler, we need to see what your engagement numbers were for this, but the supercut of the same question being asked to all the players about,
that was my favorite question,
about do you still get goosebumps at the stadium? If you have not seen that yet, you need to go to Twitter right now and look at it.
I'll drop it in right here. Drop it in right here.
You're standing in the tunnel in Norman. You're standing in the tunnel at Neyland Stadium. It's a Saturday afternoon in College Station. It's hot, it's humid, Death Valley, the lights are on. Standing in that tunnel between the hedges, you're looking out all those crazy Gamecock fans going nuts. You see Bo Jackson, you see Charles Barkley. All those dog fans are just barking. Everybody's yelling pig suey. There's thousands of cowbells going off and on, off and on. Bevo's ready to run on the field. There's 110,000 crazed Aggie fans screaming, shouting. Do you still get goosebumps? Do you still get goosebumps? Do you still get goosebumps? Do you still get goosebumps?
Oh, most definitely. Oh, yeah, for sure. Every single time. Every time. Yes, I do. Every time. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Do you still get goosebumps?
In DKR? No.
It was, so this guy worked in Tampa, was a local media guy, but every single player, he asked the exact same question.
Yeah.
And he would start by setting the scene. You're standing in the tunnel,
Right.
Neyland Stadium,
Yeah.
100,000 fans singing Rocky Top.
Which I do need to. I want to go to that one. That's probably my biggest bucket list.
Neyland Stadium.
Away stadium.
So you're saying it'd give you goosebumps?
Probably, I'm sure it probably would.
But yeah, so he asked every single player and every single and we would kind of laugh because it's like, why is this guy asking the same question? But it actually elicited some pretty good responses.
And we kind of got Stockholm syndrome by the end of it. We're all like, yeah, goosebumps question.
Yeah, here it is.
There it is. We got it.
Literally every single player got asked the exact same question, and they all responded with yes, except for Colin Simmons at Texas. To be fair, he must not have understood. I think he was misinterpreting goosebumps for like butterflies.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's
he interpreted it as if do you get nervous, even though
Right.
that's not what he meant by goosebumps.
if you're a Texas fan, your argument is it's because Colin
Yeah, Tyler,
Simmons,
play the whole clip.
yeah.
But the whole clip does just mean it just outs him that he doesn't know what goosebumps mean.
But yeah, if you're a Texas fan, your argument is, okay, Colin Simmons is calm, cool, collected the whole time. Like he's been there and he knows what he's doing and, all that.
It is really funny because people think, the Texas fans think I've like construed it and edited it in a way to make him look bad. But it's like, play the whole clip. Like, he doesn't ever say yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just
that's all there is.
Because he mixed up goosebumps for
Right.
butterflies.
And
yeah.
like it was just for the supercut. This is just a funny little thing. This isn't some hard hitting.
And that's how you know.
It's just funny.
That's how you know you were in talking season.
You can say play the whole clip. Okay, let me just play the entire 30-minute press conference for everything. Then what's the point of editing a piece of video?
And before you know it, the all-time record is brought up in the comments.
Yeah.
It happens just like that.
Yeah.
Gotta love the rivalry.
Yep. Well, good talk. We will be back. I think next week is when we're going. I should probably not promise this on air, but we are because we were going to do it this week. But things happen. Next week, I think it's going to be our big magazine preview where I have all of the preview magazines.
And we'll talk a couple other Texas teams also.
Mm-hmm. I think it was like $110 of preview magazines.
Wonderful. Yeah. And we'll dive into the Dave Campbell stuff. Like we'll, talk a little bit of Baylor and Wigman.
Why I think Ole Miss is going to win the SEC.
And some Tech. Yeah. We'll read your quote from there. And I'm very excited for the next several weeks because we'll do some deep dives. Yeah, absolutely.
And by that time we will be
Practices are going to start. Yeah.
Fall camp, so we'll have
quick,
information with that. We have three podcasts after this one for previews, and then we'll have the week of
game week
podcast.
Crazy.
Yeah. So and plenty of stuff coming up, auxiliary to the pod. For previewing this football season. So
much content.
Let's real quick go around the SEC. Fun one. I don't know how many of y'all watched last week, tonight, this week, but John Oliver taking shots at Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's has been known to file a lawsuit or two towards other people who are using cartoon animal related mascots like the famous Bucky Beaver. And so he went into a lot of why people really love Buc-ee's, but he also decided to make his own Buc-ee's knockoff merch and see if Buc-ee's will sue them. So you can, if you go to buck-off.com, you can buy...
The fact that they actually made this merch is pretty hilarious.
And it looks... I'm literally wearing the socks that have this pattern with the Bucky.
I'm literally wearing these.
Yeah, I'm really wearing these
right
socks.
now.
No, the socks I have on, as Max and
You'll just take our
Max
word
and
for it.
Tyler can tell. I'm wearing the socks that look
how
like
about
that. But yeah,
I think James's swimsuit has a similar pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very funny that this started as our own little fun Texas thing, has spread across to the South. I mean, even to where Auburn fans brag that they're the only SEC town that actually has a Buc-ee's in their town.
I've been to Buc-ee's outside Denver.
Yeah.
There's one in Colorado now?
Yep. There's
Okay.
one in Colorado.
So I don't know. Is Buc-ee's still the same? Does it still hold the same place in your heart now that it's not just a Texas thing, or is that just me?
No, because to me, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're kind of trying to compare this to like Whataburger.
Yeah, a little bit.
And what's happened to In-N-Out and stuff like that. No, I don't think so. Because I still especially having kids now. And Tyler, I feel like you can attest to this. I know I'm gonna get a decent facility when I walk in there.
Yes,
that's
the draw.
When we're on road trips, we either stop at Slovacek's or we stop at Buc-ee's. It just kind of depends on where we're going, but. The quality has not changed. It is still crowded as all get out, but there's always been a stall available.
The food is different. Back when you could order your own, now it's all pre-made.
Which
you can't.
I don't know, man. Those Buc-ee's breakfast burritos, the big breakfast burrito that you can get, it's like $12, but it's really good.
Yeah,
I'm mainly going for drinks and bathroom anyways.
Yeah, they got iced coffee.
Beaver nugs are good. The cinnamon sugar beaver nugs are life changing.
Yeah, it's good. We should see if they could, get us some merch or something too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can talk about their cold brew on tap like Pate
according
used
to the
do
show,
with,
and I've never actually seen this in the store, but apparently they make poo-pourri that smells like beaver nuggets.
Okay.
So I mean that's what I'm going to be actually finding out because I want to know.
That's all the time we have for today for the Aggie Game Day podcast.
Poo-pourri that smells like beaver nuggets.
Yep.
That sounds just like a weird euphemism.
They have it all.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us this week on another edition of the Aggie Game Day Extra podcast. Like we said, we'll be back really getting into the thick of football season coming up in the weeks ahead as they open up fall camp here very soon, and the season is just right around the corner. So, for Max Crawford and Tyler Shaw, I'm Travis Brown. This is the Aggie Game Day Extra podcast. We'll see you next week.